So tonight, we're joined by someone who has spent more than 2 decades helping build country music careers and producing major events across South Louisiana. He works with multiple artists and is currently on the road as John Foster's tour manager. He comes from a family legacy rooted in live music promotion through the Old South Jamboree and has helped construct events from the ground up, including large-scale productions like Cajun Country Jam. He understands both sides of the business, the promoter side that carries the financial risk and builds the stages, and the touring side that grinds every day to move an artist from baby steps at the regional level into the national spotlight. He's been a part of the work behind repeated Grand Ole Opry appearances, multiple rhyming performances, and nationally recognized moments that most fans only see from the crowd. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on what really goes on in creating events and building tours. Please welcome our friend, Colbi Rosenthal. What's up, brother?
Hey, thanks, Ronnie, for having me.
Oh, man, Alex is supposed to do the applause button right there. He's slipping there.
That's all right. I'm used to it. I'm behind the scenes kind of guy anyways.
that's right, man. Appreciate you joining us, man. There it is.
Absolutely.
You guys are on the road right now, man. You're actually just hopped on the tour bus and you guys are headed to Florida. Is that correct?
That's correct. We're headed to Plant City, Florida for tomorrow's show, opening for Brantley Gilbert. So it's going to be a great time. Packed house, around 10,000 people. So it's pretty great.
You guys are burning up those miles, man. I love it.
We try.
That's it, man. Well, man, let's dive in, man. You got a lot of people on here. The comments are you got a lot of people on here commenting already, and they don't want to hear me anymore. So let's get into your stuff, man. One of the things that's interesting to me is you have a different viewpoint of the music world than most of the guests that we have on the show. You wear a lot of hats: tour manager, event executive, promoter, much more. Let's start going back, though, to your family's business, the Old South Jamboree. Let's start there. Let's start by telling our audience what the Old South Jamboree was.
You know, Ronnie, my uncle owned and operated the Old South Jamboree located in Walker, Louisiana. Kind of like the Louisiana Hayride. It was a pass-through show where all kind of iconic names came through there, like Hank Jr. and you name them. There's a list of artists that passed through there. Dolly, all the big names during that era came through Walker, Louisiana, which I think is still crazy to think about. You know, and I remember my parents working there, my aunts and uncles working there for all these shows. I remember Uncle Lester, my cousin, telling me that Uncle Lester, he only sold hot dogs, popcorn, and Coca-Cola. That's it. No alcohol or anything like that. It was all about family-friendly fun.
Wow. How old were you whenever this was kind of in its prime?
Just a toddler, just super, super young. But thank goodness it stayed open long enough. I was able to experience it and see what the Old South was all about.
Yeah, man. I looked that up earlier, and big names like Jerry Lee Lewis, which is I'm from Vidalia, and Jerry Lee Lewis is from right next door in Faraday, and I became good buddies with his widow, Miss Judith. So I saw his name on there, and that always takes me back. And then I saw Dolly Parton and Conway Twitty, to name a few. So yeah, some of the biggest names in the world were coming through there. That is pretty crazy.
That's it. You know, you talk about Jerry Lee Lewis a little bit. Funny story. Uncle Lester, brand new Cadillac, went and picked him up from the airport. Jerry Lee liked to sip on the old bottle a little bit. So Uncle Lester didn't tolerate profanity or any of that. Jerry Lee got up there, got to drinking, a little bit of cussing, ended the show, pulled him off stage, threw up in the Cadillac, and that was it for Jerry Lee. So all kind of stories that my cousin Jamie's told me about his grandfather, and just it was just a good family environment.
Yeah, that's funny, man. So did you realize back then that your family had all these big stars hanging around, or was that just kind of like a normal part of life back then?
I didn't. I wish I did, but I heard so many stories from my aunts and uncles and my parents about working there and the people they would just run into, and it's just they put their pants on just like we do, one leg at a time, and just normal people back then.
Yeah, no doubt about that,
So
man.
I wish I would have been more involved. Wish I would have known more, but it is what it is. At least I have the stories that I'm always being told and stuff.
So, do you think that there's any like music lessons or skills that you learned from your family having that, or that you picked up on, or maybe they taught you later on, or anything?
My uncle booked everything. I'd like to think that some of that, was just knowledge was some kind of way passed down to me, because I learned, I say I learned so much from them just from, like I said, from the stories, kind of the backside of it, and the music industry was nothing like it is today as far as booking artists. You know, those contracts, how they are today, you just can't compare.
Yeah, I know, and it's no doubt about that. Um, so, do you remember some of those stars from that age? Do you remember being like? Do you have any like awareness of being
I,
around any of
I
them?
remember going there. I remember going there for sure, but as far as the stars, I do not. Just too young, and I don't. But I do remember going there as a child, because like I said, everybody, Uncle Lester put everybody to work in the family there. They were doing something, cleaning up or whatever. So it was definitely a Hodges family thing.
We've got some small businesses around here that if you go to their business, everybody in the family is going to be doing something. That's what you got to
Absolutely,
do. How
absolutely.
you make it. That's right.
That's it.
um, man, what made you want to get involved deeper in this crazy world of music business?
Man, I really, a lot of it is my friend Scott Ennis. I think everybody knows Scott from the market.
I saw Scott
Um,
popping in here in the comments a minute ago.
oh, good. Scott is really who, kind of, he felt my love of music and always around. And I mean, I think everybody in the Baton Rouge market went to the Texas Club when they were younger, and with the Rogers brothers. And Scott had a relationship with them, and I was always there. And I think Scott just he knew I was in it. I was involved with it, and Scott really taught me. I want to say everything I know about buying talent and everything, and how to deal with these good guys and the bad guys in the business, because they aren't all good guys for sure.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. So what age do you think that you would you say you kind of really got started in this business?
Man, I want to say in my very early 20s, I started doing some small stuff. And then when I connected with Scott, it just exploded. That, like, here's Shenandoah, here's Mr. Marty Rabin, and Tracy Bird and Andy Griggs, and all these huge guys who just hit after hit. Everybody knows their household names, Sammy Kershaw. And he just got me linked in with a lot of these guys. And that's when I really started understanding the business. It used to be I would see Scott or hear Scott on the phone talking to Marty, getting the deal done, or Richie McDonald of Lone Star. It was just a friend deal back then. It was no big contracts. It's just before all the text came, because Scott, he could get rid of his old flip phone forever. I finally had to convince him, Scott, we need to move up, brother, and get you something new. But he was so worried about losing all of these phone numbers going to an iPhone. But anyways, I have to give Scott Ennis a ton of credit, because he really showed me the ropes, and I can always call on him for advice, even still today. Being on the road with John, how he would handle something or whatever. He's definitely taught me a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glancing at the comments real quick. I got Kendall in there that says big timer. Lindsay Noto says, hey Colby. Courtney Gagliano says, hey there. Connor Martin, love working with Colby. And there's Scott right there. LOL, I'm on a flip phone now. LOL.
Would surprise me. So
Oh man, yeah, you got all these comments coming through. So man, let's dive into the event side of things. Let's start there. Is while we work our way through the different side.
Right.
You've been on some big events throughout South Louisiana, but your biggest event is held on Memorial Day weekend in Livingston Parish called Cajun Jam. Let's start
Right.
there, and then we'll talk more general after that. Tell us how that got started.
Scott was the buyer. We started doing some smaller events before the Cajun Country Jam. Scott had already established events whenever he brought me in, and Scott was the main buyer. And he used to just hate it because as time got on, those phone calls went away, and he had to start doing contracts. So eventually, he just said, "Colby, this is your deal. You start booking them. You mess with all the contracts, the lingo, and that's what happened. He just kind of threw me into the wolves, and of course." Again, I would ask questions and everything. Now, that's way too much money. So, Scott answered to me with everything, and I had to almost sell the artist I was going after to Scott, and then he would kind of understand because take it back, Scott's traditional country, '90s country kind of guy. So, all of these new artists that I was lucky enough to book, like Dylan Scott, who I had last year, it's something Scott knows about, but he's just not used to a Dylan Scott crowd.
Yeah, so a little adapting on his behalf there.
Absolutely, and it worked itself out, and with Scott's guidance, and then Mark and Mike, who were just two of the goats of buying, and you know, in the Baton Rouge market, the Texas Club. I mean, two guys I definitely look up to. I know Scott respects them just as much as I do. They're always a phone call away on giving me advice on buying or how they would handle something. So it's I learned a lot by listening and taking notes.
While I have you here, man, since you brought up the guys from the Texas Club, do you want to take a minute to kind of talk about what they've meant to that Baton Rouge market, really to Louisiana, but that Baton Rouge area and specifically for so many years?
They are Louisiana Music Hall of Fame members, and they should have been in 25 years ago. They put Louisiana music on the map. They put our local artists, our regional artists on the map. They offered a house for everybody to play at. So, good or bad, if you cut the mustard, you were going to play there. You were going to open for somebody, and eventually the goal is to headline your own show. And there's not a lot of artists, regional artists, that can headline there and sell it out. We know Chase Tyler, one of my closest friends, can do it. PCL, guys like that, that are staples in the Baton Rouge regional market. I mean, those guys sweat, blood, and tears, but they can do it now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They can sell it out on just their brand.
And those guys gave the Rogers brothers gave those guys a chance over time to build their crowd and stuff there too, which was really sweet of them to do and be patient with the younger ones and let them build their brand, help them build their brand.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody has to open for somebody. I know Chase loves to open for Chris Cagle and several other artists, but he just continually brought people, sold tickets, and then you just get to that point where, okay, Chase, you can do this on your own, and Chase does it on his own. I mean, he carries the weight, and I mean, he's the staple artist in Baton Rouge. I mean, my personal opinion. So,
Yeah, great guy too, man. He's a good buddy. Man, let's back to the event side of things. These days, everybody has an idea for an event. Get them calls all the time. Uh, what are some misconceptions that people may have about putting on events like that?
it's easy. I mean, you must have did this in a month. I don't think they understand. We start booking an event a year out. I mean, that's when our contracts go in, because these artists just aren't looking at our contract. They're looking at the whole U.S. of contracts and routing dates. How can an artist get from point A to point B? Is the numbers right for that artist traveling and all that stuff? There's going to be stops in between, and we just want to pick up a good routing date. And we've been blessed like I said, to get some great artists coming through and make stops in Baton Rouge. Because up until last year, we weren't really a heavy, big outdoor concert market. The Texas Club again was our only place for great shows. Um, but now that Boots on the Bayou has come around and LSU's gotten into the game, and you can bring some heavy multi-million dollar artists in, it's kind of changed the landscape for the last couple of mom and pop buyers out there.
Yeah, and how do you feel that Baton Rouge region has responded to those?
I mean, we'll see here in a couple of months, when Zach Bryant comes to Tiger Stadium, and you've got Jelly coming with Post. So and then there's more on the way going into next year. So I love it. Baton Rouge needs to have good music. I hated that Rock the Country didn't work out, but I think Tiger Stadium and Boots on the Bayou, Kyle Rogers and those guys at Lamar just did a hell of a job with that last year. Um, I love big shows like that.
Oh yeah, it brings so much energy to the town, man, to the
It
to the whole region.
does.
Yeah. Are you gonna do your show again this year?
We're going to take off this year and probably come back next year. A lot of people have been asking me and Scott to do our 80s concerts again. We brought in some of the biggest names in rock and roll. So you could see a little country 80s mix. So you never know. It's our brain's always turning.
I'm in, man. I'm in for that. So what are some things that people in the crowd when they come in they may never think about or even realize that goes into these type of events?
Me, I'm on the backside. I'm always thinking, did I get enough porta johns? Did I get enough fencing, and barriers and security? There's so much that goes into these events that people just, you would have never thought about. Production. Production is key. We use Deep South Productions for all of our events. Another great Louisiana company,
Oh
and
yeah.
just working with Marvin and Jeremy and Travis, those guys, they're a godsend because I bring the artist in, they help design my stage setup, and then you know, it's it's on them. That's a week setup in itself. People just think these stages just pop up, but this is a crew of 20 guys coming in, building this from the ground up. It's a lot of work, man, a lot of labor.
And those guys are pros, man. I mean, they were telling me about for some reason I thought they would do like Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, but they said they go all over the country doing that stuff. Huge shows, Bruno Mars and stuff like that.
As they Fantasia, Aldine, John Foster. They do massive Canadian ragweed, and they support Louisiana artists. We were blessed for them to jump on with John. I mean, they take care of all of our audio needs, and we were just very, very blessed to get them on our team because they see what John brings to the table, Louisiana, and it's just we're just
You cut out on me just a tad. Can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Okay, I lost you for a second. I apologize.
Yeah.
Um,
Nope.
yeah. That so I think you named some of them, but what are some of the day of worries that can make or break an event?
Man, it's weather. That is lightning, rain. We're good with. We've had Scotty McCreery and rain and Travis Tritt and rain, but lightning is the bad stuff. Other than that, I mean, knock on wood, we are a pretty well oiled machine. Me and Scott and our team, we can pretty much feel what each other's feeling at some of these events, and then we have our event in Livingston, working with with Livingston, our officials out there, our parish presidents and Sheriff Jason Hart and all that. It just all flows, man. And knock on wood, we've had great success in our parish.
Yeah, you definitely have, man. From the outside looking in, it's been awesome to watch you guys do that. So, as a promoter of an event, what makes an artist easy to work with?
um, that contract is always a big deal, but it's as a buyer, you always hear stories about different artists, how they react, and on stage and off stage, and that means a lot because we are family friendly, and we want an artist that is family friendly. I'm not too big on the profanity and all that, and almost everybody we brought in has been the same outlook that we have as far as that. But thank goodness we've had really great artists we've worked with. Travis Tritt was great to work with. He was probably my number one worry, but he was actually awesome to work with. And but that's one of the shows I had Shenandoah on, and Marty and them are friends with them, and some of these artists just make it easier for other artists to interact. So I appreciate Marty on doing that.
No doubt about that. How much does, because you hear a lot of stuff behind the scenes. The music business isn't that big. Once you kind of get in there, you hear a lot about a lot of people. How much does an artist being easy to work with come into play whenever you're scheduling something like that?
A lot, a lot. I talk to other buyers across the country and just get a feel. It does. It does. It's we're mom and pop. We don't need any kind of craziness or drama or any of that. That's it does. It does a lot on selecting our headliners or our two headliners. Last year we were lucky enough to have dual headliners, and it makes it a little tougher, but we were blessed to do it last year.
Yeah. We got our buddy Dustin Saunier from Lafayette popping in. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, Dustin.
Good
What's up,
guy,
bro?
good guy.
Great guy, man. So, man, shifting gears a little bit, you're currently working with several artists, including having the title of tour manager with John Foster. As a matter of fact, you guys are on the road as we speak.
We are.
But in a little while, I might get you to do a little tour bus tour for us, if that's all right with you. But
All right, all right.
before we do that, let's get into talking about the management, tour management, artist promotion, all of those side of things. What got you into that side of the business?
I think it was honestly when me and Chase hooked up a long time ago. I was just at a point, and Chase was at a point, looking for some help, and we sat down at James Grill in Denham Springs on a Saturday morning, and just talked it out. And I think that's really what got me really heavy into it. I refer to Chase a lot because he is one of my closest friends, and him and Lindsay, and we just cleared a pathway, dude, and we did everything. We went everywhere. We branded and just really pushed hard to get his name out there even further than it already was, and we were blessed enough to play some very, very special places like Chase performing for the Saints and going up to Washington D.C. a couple of times, playing at our nation's capital. I mean, it's I would say when me and Chase hooked up, that really got me going on that side of it, and I think we both learned a lot from each other. So I learned a lot about the band side, the music side of it that I didn't know. So
It's man, I'm glad you brought that up. Have you ever played music? Do you write music, play music, or anything like that?
I played the tambourine when John lets me. Never, never.
That's probably a good thing, man.
Probably so.
Whatever. I'm a big believer. If
But
everybody has their way.
that's it. I know my place. So no, that's it. No kind of musical skills. My parents both sung in church. My mom played the piano. Dad plays the guitar. And sister plays the drums. But other than that, I'm just going to stick to what I know, and that's being a TM. So
Nothing wrong with that, man. I see Thomas
that's it.
Kane on here. What's up, Thomas? How are you, brother? Uh, you got a lot of the folks out tonight listening to you, man. So, man, John just played the Grand Ole Opry, I want to say for the 11th time, and he's played the Ryman, I think, 3 times. Those are huge accomplishments, and those opportunities don't just happen out of nowhere. From the outside looking in, it looks easy, but you and I both know that it takes a lot of work to get there. So, what has the
Right.
grind been like behind the scenes? Because it looks like John just shot up, which is awesome. I love it, and I'm
Right.
happy for him. But we know it's not that easy. So, what has that work behind the scenes been like for his rise?
It's a lot. But Ronnie, before we jump to that, I want to say something about our regional artists. There are a lot of Baton Rouge regional artists. Kendall Schaefer, he's played on our stage several times. Hall of Fame member. He was there when we had Randy Travis. Such a memorable moment. There's Lauren Lee, who I work with very close. She does a lot of shows with John, like Chase does. There's TC, Thomas Kane. We've Baton Rouge is blessed to have a lot of regional artists. I think that's something that everybody needs to go out and support these guys. These are grinders. It's Chase is the pinnacle in our Baton Rouge market, PCL. And I just think those are good role models for all these up and comers to look at that. It's those are household names. So
Yeah, and what I really like and appreciate about what you guys have going is, so many of you guys and gals work together, and I see from the outside looking in that a lot of people put their egos to the side, and people are like, "Hey, I'll play this role today, and I'll play this role next time, or whatever." And I think Chase is a great person for that because Chase is, we're not 20 anymore, and he's got some experience. He's not old, but he's got some experience. But he's also um, very confident and not a big ego guy, and very supportive to the up and comers. So, what do you accredit that Baton Rouge region being that close to? What do you kind of think that comes from?
Well, Chase is old. Chase just turned 40, so let's not. No, we're not. Yeah, we're not. He's old, and he knows it.
Look, I see his family on here, so I didn't want to be, I didn't want to
No,
call him.
I'll say it. Look, I talk to that guy multiple times a day. That is, like I said, one of my closest friends. But I just think that I work with Lauren Lee. I still work some with Chase, and I just think it gives people like Lauren and Connor Martin, somebody to look at and say, hey, I can get there. Chase is open for some of the biggest names. I mean, he co-headlined my festival with Dylan Scott, who's got 7 or 8 number 1 hits. He's on just a rocket ship. And that's, me as a buyer and Chase being my friend, that's a big risk I'm taking, but there's not a better person to fit that co-headliner spot than Chase Tyler. And that's why I put him there. People gravitate to him like they do PCL with Frank Foster. I mean, those guys can do their own shows. So, but I just think Chase and them, it gives somebody to look up to. And Chase is a humble guy. We all know he is. He doesn't care that I say it. Chase will answer a phone call. He'll give advice, and Chase does a lot. I see Chase now, his Texas club shows that are selling out, 1,000+ people in there. Now he's giving people, these younger artists, a chance to open up for him, just like he was given that opportunity to open up for somebody bigger. And you can't say that a lot.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. No doubt about that. So you guys are on the road now, going to play another big show. Let's kind of get back to those
The Opry,
building those, kind of that. What's it like been behind the scenes for, say, the last year?
it's since May 1st when me and John hooked up. John was always telling me, we didn't know where this was going to go. We knew we were on a mission and we were working together. Me, John, as business manager, and just we were on a mission. We were going straight up. And John's always saying, I just want to play the Opry. I just want to play the Opry. And once those phone calls came in and John got on that first show, and then it's like, okay, we've done this. We'll go play a couple shows. And now we've got the Opry calling back. And now we're 5 times. Now we're 6 times. And now, like you said, we're 11 or 12 times at the Opry. And then you've got the Mother Church, the Ryman, who's played at 3 or 4 times. It's been a grind. We're blessed. It's there's some artists out there who have never played at either one of them. So I think that's a testament to John's character, his faith, what he believes in, and country music and where it's going.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. And how does it feel to see a really good, talented kid like John not only get those opportunities, but to capitalize on them? Because it's one thing to get it once, but it's another thing to get it 11 times.
It's been fun to watch. I get to stand side stage at all of these shows and watch him from the side, and it's amazing. But John is a humble guy. John has, he gets the opportunity to invite people to play with him. So all of our band has played the Opry now. John invited Chase Tyler to play the Opry. It's, John gives back. I mean, it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. I love seeing Chase get the opportunity to play that. That was nice. Let's kind of just more general talk about tour manager. What are some daily responsibilities of a tour manager that people may not realize?
And it's like a glorified babysitter. So, when I get our bundles and all that is what we call them. When I get those, they're on the calendar, and of course all the guys could see them. But then myself, my band leader Justin, and our A2 Travis will jump on an email with the start the show. Just I'm good. I'm with you.
Yeah, okay. I'm
You good?
I'm gonna text Melissa and tell her to stop streaming real quick for me because I think hers is slowing my internet down. Oh goodness.
I got you. It's all good.
I appreciate the patience, man.
But yeah,
So
we just advancing the show. That's the first step. Once our management sends it down to me, and we just advance the show, and then it's just kind of downhill from there. We've got our group text with all the guys, and I let them know what time bus call is and where we're going, and they load up, and that's it. So we're on the road.
On the road again, like Willie said.
That's it. We're on the road again. So, and then the great thing about a bus is obviously people think it's just party time, and it's a lot of sleeping. I think John sleeps 22 hours out of the day. I literally have to almost drag him out of his bunk to perform. But that dude loves to sleep. God, dog.
Those kids could put some hours in on the Z's, I guess. I don't know what it is. I could too when I was that age.
Early on, I would get random texts at like 2 and 3 in the morning, and I'm like, what are you doing? Just random off the wall, like, hey, are we still doing this tomorrow? I'm like, why couldn't you send that during normal business hours? But there are no normal business hours, And my wife's like, hey, John's texting, she'll have to wake me up or whatever. But yeah, it's some fun hours. But anyways, once we get to a show, we'll dump, all the guys. We've got hands grabbing everything from the trailer, and usually we can get sound checked, but then the first hour and 15 minutes, and then we can retreat back and wait for our time.
Um, as a tour manager, what are some of the things that you expect from the artist and band members and everybody else involved with the show?
Man, it's I don't run a tight ship. I kind of let the guys. They're professionals, and everybody for the most part, does their job. I just give them a time or where they need to be at, and that's pretty much it. I keep John up to date through the day, what time I need him up, meet and greets, and whatever else he's got to do, and for the most part, that's it. It's we've really got a great band. I could not ask for more seasoned guys. I mean, we've got our fiddle player that has played with Loretta Lynn and some of the greatest artists of our generation out there. And Justin McCoy, our rhythm and backup vocals. I mean, the guy's a star himself. But we've just got a great family here. Everybody gets along. Got a bunch of good cooks, and it's good.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that at all. Let me see here, man. Do you have a couple of moments as even like an event coordinator or a tour manager that you kind of just stopped and kind of in the present moment said, man, this is pretty cool?
I have the Opry too. My first time there, when John brought me out to the circle, it was just, it's just, you look around, you turn around, you think of who's been there before you, and of course this is only the first time we've played there, and or the second time, one of them, and John's given me the whole tour, and now John's tour has kind of been pushed off to somebody else because he's done given so many tours, to family and friends. It's just watching side stage, when it's a TV taping and you've got this packed house out there, and your boss is out there getting a standing ovation. It's just there's no other feeling like it. And for me personally, to be able to bring my wife Monique and my daughter Emma on some of these deals, and John's family's there, his sisters and his mom and dad. It just it's very special to all of us. It's a lot of people don't get, or I should say most don't get to experience that stuff on side stage at the Ryman or in the back. It'll make you tear up a little bit.
No doubt about that, man. And I'm proud for you guys for getting those opportunities, man. It's really cool. Just love seeing Louisiana pushing forward, and it's sort of John kind of carrying that flag is one of the people that are carrying the flag, because there's a lot of people out there doing it right now.
You're right.
And everybody's doing a good job of it. Everybody's making Louisiana proud.
Ronnie, we gotta get you to the Opry.
I'm in, dude. I'm in.
we got to get you to the Opry so you can experience what it's like in the back, and the history. It's a museum back there. It's the lemonade plate. It's the popcorn. There's so much there. There's a photo booth back there. It's all the little things in this picture. They put a booth in the back, and we all took our picture. John and Brooklyn's picture is in the photo wall with every other major star, and I'm in there with my wife, and it's the Opry is family, and they treat us like family. John's a regular member there almost. We're just hoping he gets in soon. So that's the next big thing.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you guys will be back there. So I'll take you up on that one day for sure. No doubt about that.
Yes, we need to get you in there, man. I think you would understand the feeling that overcomes us whenever they're there. You're at the Mother Church, so
yeah, no doubt about that, man. I would love that. Man, you guys did and I'm not going to keep you long because I know you're on the road and you got to get some rest and everything. But
What else you want me to do? I have
oh, I'm losing you again. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
I've nothing.
Let me see.
You're good. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm back.
Could you hear me the whole
Yeah,
time?
I'm probably just jumping through. Yeah, I'm probably just jumping through cell towers. But the one other thing that I deal with is we've been blessed to have a 45-foot Prevost, and that has definitely helped us out a lot because we were flying before, and I know the guys hated me because these 5 and 6 a.m. flights. But we're grinding, and we're not at the top. We're still fighting for everything we've got, but we've had some great partners, and we've got a brand new trailer that was given to us thanks to our great friend at the United Cajun Navy, and there's a lot of people out there supporting us, but we're out there working. John's out there working nonstop, and I'm a mechanic. Jason's a mechanic. We've got everybody that helps out. We've got his sister is a merch seller. His mom, is our business manager, and she says she sells merch, but I really don't know what she looked at. But anyways, but it's truly it's a family thing, and we've been blessed. One thing I think I forgot to tell you earlier is we've been blessed. We get to play in Zurich, Switzerland here.
Wow.
In a couple of weeks, and we're going to Rome, and this is a band family trip that our wives are able to go to and experience some of this, but it's because of this machine that John's created, and we've all grabbed on to, and we're a part of it. So we've been blessed, man.
That's awesome, man. And you're talking about bus and trailer and all that. One thing I've learned about Louisiana people, man, there's a lot of generous people out there, and if they see somebody that's going somewhere and they're giving it everything they have, man, there's a lot of people that give you the shirt off your back to help you accomplish your dream. And that's a really special thing, I think. And there's good people all over the world, but I think
absolutely
Louisiana's got a lot of that, man. It might be people who don't even have a lot, but they're like, hey, here's this because I want to help you achieve your dreams and all of that.
Absolutely. Our whole team is based here in Baton Rouge, our driver, everything. And this is our home. This, John says, Baton Rouge is home. West Baton Rouge is home. This is where he wants to be. His family's here, and all of our band families here. And we've been blessed, like I said, to leave out of Baton Rouge, to go to every show. It may be a little further for us, but John likes it. We like it. And it works for us, and it'll continue to work. So,
yeah. Well, like I said, we're certainly proud of it, man. And like I said, in a minute, if you don't mind, I'll get you to give us a little bus tour. You got to tell everybody to put their pants on or whatever's going on. But some might be in their underwear watching Wheel of Fortune or something.
They could be. They probably watching Yellowstone or playing Scrabble. I mean, it's not what everybody thinks, So yeah. We're in the back part of the bus, so it's usually where me and JF will hang out back here and watch our little TV shows and all that fun stuff. But
but
other than that.
Oh, I'm sorry, but before we do that, I did want to ask you about the Rose Parade. We were blessed and fortunate to have a lieutenant governor. We've got a good partnership with Explore Louisiana now. They really like what we're doing here with Louisiana Country Music, and they want to help us, and they see the value in what we're doing. And Lieutenant Governor was nice enough to come on and do an interview, and he was talking about John and all of that. And we talked about the Rose Parade as one of the things that we talked about. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that goes on behind the scenes at something like that.
I think we're still exhausted from the Rose Parade. We flew in, and me and JF, we literally hit the ground running. I mean, we landed. Me and John got into a Tahoe. They took us, and we did practice after practice with the dancers there in California, and we were there for a couple hours, and it was every day. It was grueling long days, but we can never get that kind of publicity at any show or anything like that. Just representing our state, and Lieutenant Governor Billy, we have an awesome relationship with him. Him inviting John to perform, representing the state, was just out of this world. So we were really blessed to participate in that. The the backside of it that nobody gets to see. People can look down through my stories and see some of it. I think it was Rose Bowl day. Me and John had to be there, I think at like 2 a.m., storming, raining. And we were out there in rain jackets, and we've got the dancers out there, and we're in the middle of the highway. It's all lit up, and John's out there practicing. We're practicing the dance routine over and over and over. And it's just, that's the stuff that people don't see unless you're there. But, that stuff, again, I'll always remember. But it was tough, but worth every bit of it.
That's awesome, man. And real quick, since we were talking about the support that Lieutenant Governor and his office has given you guys, and they're giving us, and all of that, do you want to speak for a minute about the job that those guys are doing for our state and for our artists and just our music community?
Mr. Billy, I mean, he could be Lieutenant Governor forever. He gets it. He understands Louisiana. He's all in. He understands the music side of it. He supported the Cajun Jam. He has supported a lot of events and a lot of great artists, and helping them accomplish stuff. We love him to pieces. I mean, he is, anytime we call, it'll either pick up or he'll text. I can't talk. What you need me to do? I mean, it's that kind of awesome relationship that he has with artists, and not just for me and John. I mean, he's worked with a ton of Louisiana artists, big artists like Dylan Scott, and all that. I mean, he's in it, and that's what we like about Mr. Billy.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. We've got a good one leading the charge on that one, and the whole team does a good job. So, man, if you do you mind taking us on a little? I think now, is Seth on the bus with y'all?
Seth is on the bus. We got David Vonador, our fiddle player. Seth, everybody knows Seth, one of the baddest men on this planet, guitar player. I mean, you know him. Everybody knows him. Justin, who is our rhythm, and then we got Hoss, Galen, who is our bass player, John Foster's uncle, and then we've got who else is we missing? Mark, Mr. Mark. So on drums. So Stefan. Oh, I'm not going to talk about the steel. God, we got this steel player, Stefan Como. He wears these hats. You need more steel, and I'm like, turn it down. But anyways, we've got a solid band of professionals, man. It's they always, hey, let's practice, and then we don't practice, and these guys, we show up to these big events, and it sounds just like the record.
When Seth first joined you guys, he was very excited, and he was really happy because he was like, yeah, everybody's Louisiana guys, and he was just so pumped about it. But I've been on a couple of these buses with Seth back in the day, a time or two, but I feel like a lot of the viewers, maybe we got 81 people on here still. I don't know why they're still listening to me and you, but they are. I think they're more listening to you. But
is 81 a good number?
That's a good number, man. It's Tuesday night. Deal. People have all the options in the world, and they're loving your stories. But I feel like a lot of the people probably have never maybe been through a little bus like that en route. So if you would share that with us, that'd be really cool.
Absolutely. And look, if everybody on there who knows me, they should know my Venmo. So just if you're watching, just Venmo me a couple dollars so I could eat tonight. Help me out. So everybody knows all the back jokes. But all right, let me see if I can. Wonder if I could turn this thing around.
We'll figure it
All
out.
right. All right. Look, I'm in the back, but I'm just gonna turn around. You got a good picture because I can't see.
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. All right. Oh
There we
God.
go.
So it's all right. So we do have a shower. That was one of John's requirements to have a shower. So
That's a good thing.
let me see. All right. I'm gonna go into our bunk area. It's pretty clean. Pretty clean. So this is our little home away from home. So this is my bunk, JF. So let's see.
Say nobody sacked out yet.
It's good. Let me see. Nope, snacked out. Let me make sure everybody dressed. All right. Through here. Don't worry about Stefan. I know you want to talk to Seth. Sorry, Stefan. All right. Let's see.
What's up, brother?
All right. I'm on. All right. Let me see if we can, if I can get these things back in. All right.
Hear me?
So here we go. So this is our steel player, which I told you about earlier.
What's up, brother? How you
Floor
been, man?
steel. Stephen, how you been?
Good,
I've heard-
good. Very good. Excited to be on the road.
All right, and then we're gonna move on to Seth. You know Seth.
What's up, Ronnie?
My
You know
man,
that
what's
guy.
up, dude?
Hey, man.
What's up?
Oh, that's right. Ronnie.
How you doing, Seth? Everybody good? So we got our lead, and then we got Justin McCoy. So
What's up, Ronnie?
that's our
How
rhythm.
are you, man?
How you doing?
And then we
Good.
Then we got Trav over here.
All
That's
right,
our
Trav. What's
A2.
up, bro?
And
What's
Trav.
up?
We got
How are you,
Pulse, our bass. And
How
all.
you doing, Ronnie?
We got Mr. Mark,
Hey,
our
Mr. Ronnie.
jumper. Then we
Hey.
got
How are you, brother?
Mr. David right there.
Ronnie,
So-
glad to be around you.
And like
How
I
are
told
you,
you,
brother?
man, David has played with some of the greatest out there, man. But we have got a solid band. Let me go
Yeah,
check
Yeah,
on
no
our
doubt.
driver.
I'm in that room, man.
So hey, Dave, I got my driver Dave up here, and we are going down the highway, but
Dave, we want you to pay attention, man.
Hey, what's the...
yeah, we want you to pay attention, Dave. We good on fuel, Dave? Oh yeah, we okay. They probably want to stop at Bucky's. All these dudes do is eat.
Who
That's
doesn't want
it.
to stop? Buc-ee's?
Look, I mean, this is it. This is it. Everybody thinks there's all fun and games, but this is it. They probably up here having church service.
Oh, man.
All right, let's see who else we got in the back.
That's some good guys right there, man. I know a couple
Oh,
of those guys.
Oh, they're great. We got a little bathroom back here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see who else we got. Let's see.
Hello, can you hear me?
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up? Sorry for my
How-
appearance. I'm, just on the bus. On the
On
bus.
the road, bro. On the road. How are you, man?
That is it. Doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. I'm glad to be back. It's been about 2 weeks. I think our last show was in El Dorado, Arkansas. So I'm glad to be back on the road and going to sunny Florida. Hopefully it's sunny. I think it will be.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you sharing Colby with us for a few minutes tonight on our Louisiana
Oh,
Country
yeah.
Music Live show.
Absolutely. We're going through a rough patch here.
Can you hear me? Okay.
There we go. Got you back.
There we go. Yeah. I was just telling you, man, we're super pumped for you and everything that's happening for you. We couldn't be more excited for you.
Thank you so much. It's really beyond anything I ever wished for, to be here and have such a great team around me. You just saw them all in person, all my band members, and to have Colby, he truly is a great asset to this team. So I appreciate you having him. and help spreading our message of traditional country music. That's all we want to do.
No doubt about it, man. How does it feel? Well, I got you for a second, man. How
Yeah.
does it feel to represent, to be out on the road, the Opry 11 times and all of that, to represent not only yourself but your family and the community in Louisiana as a whole? How does that feel for a young guy like you?
Oh, wonderful. I mean, God has blessed me so much within my relatively short 19 years. As a 19-year-old, to be an official ambassador of the great state of Louisiana, to do the Rose Parade and, like you said, the Opry and all of these things. I am very aware that it's unusual for a person my age to have so many blessings, and so that is one of my number one things that I thank God for. Is just thank you for the amount of time that it's taken you. It within 1 year, I had went from 5,000 followers on Facebook, and playing to 20 people in a bar room, to places like the Grand Ole Opry, and now going to Florida and doing all these wonderful things. So um, it's truly surreal, and it's just a matter of making sure that not only God knows that how thankful I am, but everybody, especially those that are tuned in right now, uh, the people that voted for me on Idol, the people that attend the shows. I always say, and I really hope everybody understands when I say this, I really could not do it without you, and I don't mean that in a metaphorical sunshine and rainbows things. I mean that in an actual factual way. And any artist will tell you that is like, I literally cannot do it without you. I cannot do it without the people that come to the shows. I cannot play a show unless you buy tickets. So, like, thank you to everybody who does that, and thank you to people like you. That spread the wonderful music of country music, especially as it pertains to the best state in the world, Louisiana. We have so many great people. So Colby was talking about them earlier. Your Chase Tylers and your Thomas Caines and these wonderful people that are. I think Louisiana country music is really cool because we're obviously, we're known for, if you go down to the cultural roots, are Cajun, right? And I'm somebody who has a lot of Cajun heritage, and I speak a little bit of Cajun French. I sing a lot of Cajun French. But I think it's really cool because every now and then you can hear and see those influences in our country music, right? Because at the root of it all, it's all about just real music, right? And Cajun music is that, real country music is that. And so I think it's really interesting to see in Sammy Kershaw and Kix Brooks and Lainey Wilson and if you want to throw me in the mix, if I'm worthy enough to be in the mix with those guys, you can see a little bit of our Cajun Louisiana influence. Our great Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Billy, used to say, there's something in the water, right? There's something down here that makes for really good music, no matter if it's. So I'm fortunate and blessed to be in that mix.
You're doing a great job of it, man. Has there been a moment or two? I'm sure I know the answer to this. One of the answers is that first time you stepped on the stage at the Opry. But has there been a moment or two that you just kind of stepped back and was like, "Wow, I can't really believe that this is happening right now"?
100%. You're totally right with the Opry. The Ryman. There's actually you could look at a video of me physically taking a step back and taking a pause. The first time I was on the Ryman stage, I actually physically took a step back and like breathed in just to feel that moment, because the Opry was my number one, but the Ryman, the Mother Church Country Music, was my number two. So to be there, also moments like if we want to fast forward it back to the roots, just finding out I was top three of Idol for me was really big, because knowing that I was top three meant I was going back home, right? I was going to do my hometown show. So I remember learning about that moment. That was beyond anything I could ever think of. Also, I put in meeting some of these legends, right? Miranda Lambert, Josh Groban, great Jelly Roll, and Carrie Underwood. And then recently, so if you ask me, out of all the great people that I've met, there's one man who has had the most playtime on my phone. Like the person that I've listened to the most is what I'm trying to say, and that's Clint Black. And I've had the opportunity now to be with him twice now, to be at the Opry and then open for him at the Ryman. So meeting him was super cool because, like I said, I love your Josh Grobens and your Jelly Rolls and your Carrie Underwood and stuff, and they all are on my playlist constantly. But I listen to so much Clint Black. I mean, Nothing's News, Better Man, Killing Time, Just wonderful, wonderful songs that are
Yeah,
constantly on my playlist. So
yeah.
meeting him, oh my goodness, meeting him and being able to open for him once at the Ryman Auditorium for a Grand Ole Opry show. So we've got the trifecta here. It's a Clint Black themed show. It's a Grand Ole Opry show, and it's at the Ryman. That was huge for me. So that was just the best night. And then shortly after, to follow up and open for an actual concert with him, at the Ryman again with my band was truly amazing. So yeah, that was all of those things were those moments.
God is blessing you, man, because he's blessing you for a reason, and he's giving you that talent, and he's continuing to give you those blessings for a reason. And I think that you're doing a good job being a good steward of those blessings. And
Thank you.
just, I guess, real quick, couple more if you got a minute, and then
Yeah, sure.
we're out of here.
We got time.
So you've really shot into the national spotlight in I know it's a blur to you, but I mean, it's a really quick amount of time, really short period that you shot into the spotlight. What has been the biggest adjustment personally for you with all that fame coming?
Yeah, that's kind of an easy one for me. So I'm I'm a social person in most aspects. I do like my alone time. I'm an alone person. Anybody close to me will tell you that. But I do like public things like shopping and stuff. Like before Idol, you could catch me in Walmart pretty much every night. I really don't know why I was there, but like I was there all the time. I mean, I needed this and I needed this. I'm somebody that likes to do projects around the house, so I always needed. Oh, shoot! I need something else. Or I was always and just constantly antique stores and thrift stores, and I still do that absolutely, but I've had to scale that back, right? I've had to scale that back because I tried coming off of Idol. I would try to go in places like that, and I wouldn't need. I literally, there was one time I couldn't get past the first entrance. I see so many people that I know and that I love so much, and then I can't really shop anymore, which kind of defeats purpose. So I've learned to just maybe do a little online order or something. But that's probably been the biggest adjustment. Is sometimes I'm like, I really need to get something from the store, and I sometimes can, and it's not a safety issue. It's not an issue of I think people will harm me. No, it's just a matter of the shopping's not going to be successful because I'm going to want to talk to people, right? It's not that I don't want to. I want to too much, right? Like if somebody comes up to me and starts talking to me, I'm going to start talking to them a lot, and I'm going to forget what I actually even went there to go get. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna reserve all the time for that for shows and stuff when I actually really need to be talking to people, and when I need to be productive, I'm gonna do a pickup order or something like that. That's been my biggest adjustment.
Nothing wrong with that, man. I get you, dude. I'm a talker myself.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody sees your show or if somebody comes to the John Foster show, what do you want them to say when they leave?
I always want them. Well, number one, I want them to say, "I want to see him again." Right? I mean, that's the biggest compliment that I can get from somebody who just saw my show is that was so good. I want to see you again because that's what we want, right? We want continued engagement, and we want people to say, "I want more," because that's what keeps us going. We played your show this year. Next year, when we come back to your home city, to this venue, we want you to buy another ticket because we want you to come again. So that's always the number one thing I want to hear. But the other thing that I really want to take away is the central message and the central kind of idea of what I do, and that is traditional country music, right? It's something that has been lost and has started to be found again, right? I mean, I'm not the only person doing it, but I want people to leave thinking, man, he reminds me of, and I get this all the time, and it's wonderful. He reminds me of Alan Jackson. He reminds me of George Strait. He reminds me of Dwight Yoakam. These wonderful, wonderful people that constitute the majority of the songs that I listen to, right? Because it's not a facade. It's not an image that I put on that I love traditional country music. No. You can look through my Spotify and my Apple Music. I listen to 80s, mostly 80s, but also 90s country all the time. And that's not to say that I dislike or that I do not care for any other genres or any other decades country music. I listen to Jason Aldean sometimes. I listen to a great friend of mine, great artist, Craig Morgan. He was early 2000s. Like I'm not one of those purists that only will ever play and listen to 80s and 90s. No, but they are my heart. That's my heart and my soul. The 80s is my favorite decade. That's the most of the music that I play. And so that's another thing that I want people to take from my show is he really cares for and he really
Oh, I lost you for a second. Let's see if you pop back.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Can you hear me? There we go.
Okay.
Sorry.
I lost you for a second. I couldn't tell if you lost me too or not.
Yeah, no, you're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you doing some writing?
Oh yeah, writing is most of my time. Right, writing is because that's the other half of the musicianship. It's live performances, but then it's making the music for the live performances, right? And songwriting has always been one of my absolute favorite things to do because it's my form of therapy, right? And any songwriter will tell you that too. Because it's really hard sometimes to say what you're thinking and say what you're feeling, and songwriting is an easy way to do that sometimes because you do it in a song, right? And because that's how our brain thinks, us musicians, us songwriters, our brain thinks in music terms. And so we're able to put those terms down in a song and make something that hopefully not only I will enjoy and I will, be proud of, but something that other people can listen to. Other people can say, I relate to this song. I feel this song. That's what happened with Tell That Angel I Love Her, which is to this day the most beautiful and yet terrible thing I've ever created. And the thing that has made the most impact on people. I mean, around the country, around the world, even people telling me how much they related to and felt my message and my theme behind Tell That Angel I Love Her. And that has been the most amazing feeling. It's heartbreaking in one hand, right? To watch people cry in front of you, but it's also it's tears of sadness, yes, but it's tears of grief and just of sometimes consolation, right? They're so they see me and they see the face behind the song, right? Behind the song Tell That Angel I Love Her, and they break down in tears because that song helped them. That is always to me the biggest blessing and the biggest warm feeling that in my soul and in my heart is when somebody tells me that my music helped them get through rough periods in their lives. Or even, I talk about all the time, music is not just to help you get through rough periods. Music is also there to help you celebrate the wins, right? Celebrate the good moments, rejoice, to worship. All of these things, that's what makes music so beautiful, right? And so universal, especially country music, which we both love and adore. And it has so many great themes and peoples. But yeah, that's to give you the short answer is yes. It's those people that are touched by my songwriting, and I'm so happy to be doing that songwriting with great people. Like co-writing people like Bill Anderson, right? Bill Anderson, historically speaking, one of the greatest country songwriters to ever walk the streets of Nashville, right? And to write a song with him, which is actually out right now on YouTube. It's called Together Tonight. And with Bobby Tomberlin, who's one of my closest songwriting friends. He wrote One More Day by Diamond Rio and a couple other number one hits. To write with these guys is so cool. To join our minds and our spirits and our musical ability to create something like Together Tonight. It is so amazing. And then again, to get that wave of people, when I posted Together Tonight, I got a lot of people talking about, how they lost their significant other or because one thing about the song is that it's universal in terms of Bill Anderson was very, very particular about making it to where it's not just about loss in a death sense. It can absolutely be about that, but it also can be about loss of just a relationship. The person's still alive, but you wish you could be with them tonight, or it's long distance. And they're across the country, so it's been really cool to see these people. Some people I'm long distance. I'm long distance with my significant other, and this song is how I feel. I want to be together with them tonight. Or I lost my husband 10 years ago, and this is how I feel. And it's so beautiful to see people connect to the things that I create with songwriting. And it's honestly one of the greatest things that God has ever gifted me is the ability to songwrite, and I thank Him for it every day.
Yeah, and speaking of songs like that, I think that I don't know if this is the right word, ambiguity, I guess, of a song that kind of
Yeah,
leaves
yeah,
it open.
yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to hit it too much on the nose because you do want
Mhm.
it to be able to be interpreted in the listener's own way, whatever way they take
That's
it.
it.
And
That is
there's an art to creating a song like that, and that it's not every time you walk into the room, it doesn't happen. It's those are The lucky ones. That's right.
That is correct. That is correct. Every song that you write when you walk into those rooms is always good, right? It's never a waste of time, in my opinion. Usually, I mean, of course, you have your exceptions, but
I've written some pretty
it's never
bad ones.
right. There's been some questionable ones in my history, but for the most part, they're all used refine, to further refine and further get things out. And even if no one ever hears them, ever, even if it stays locked in your voice memos, it's still an exercise of songwriting, and it's still there for you, right? Which is one of the other, and again, the beautiful things about songwriting.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. You got a lot of people that when we get off, you have to go back and look at the video and go through the comments. You got a lot of sweet people on here.
Oh, that's great.
Rosie Allen says, I lost my husband in January of 2026. I heard that song and I love both songs you wrote. So there's a lot of those comments type coming through.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So go back and read those. But
absolutely.
Before we get out of here, man, since Colbi was sweet enough to jump on here with us tonight, I want to give you a chance to brag on him. Last question. Brag on Colbi a little bit about the great job he's doing with you guys.
100%. So, Colbi was the first person that I met coming out of Idol, back in, that was, Bay Area. I had known, he talked about Mr. Scott Ennis, great friend. And I had known him for a little while before that. And he put me in touch with Colbi, and we started working. And I mean, it was just obvious that we had a connection, because when you work with people in this industry, one of the things about the music industry that I think is really cool and really beautiful is that you usually 9 times you have to have a personal connection with somebody to work with them professionally, right? There's a lot of personal connection that happens in music. Sometimes in other industries and stuff, you have an office job, you sit next to somebody, that's who you're working with, period. But it's really good to be able to pick your team around you, make sure you have a personal connection with them, and so that was apparent when me and Colbi started talking, and it of course had grown, and then we did a bunch of things together. And Colbi is interesting because it's cool to have a buyer's perspective. He talked to you all about him being a buyer for things like the Cage Country. It's cool to have a buyer's perspective when dealing with events and people at the events and stuff. To have a buyer as your tour manager dealing with the buyer. As a buyer, he knows how he wants to be dealt with. Like the golden rule of treat others the way you want to be treated. He knows how he wanted to be treated as a buyer, so it works out pretty interestingly for him as a tour manager to deal with these buyers and stuff. And it's been really fun, as he said. Also just having a tour manager and having a team that's based out of Louisiana is so valuable, right? And especially somebody like Colbi who's done so much in Louisiana and dealt with people in Louisiana and things like that. So it's been great, and I look forward to the plenty more, hopefully, of days on the road and stuff with the team.
Complete honesty and transparency, man. Whenever I saw you starting to come through with Idol and everything, and I knew you were about to pop, one of my worries, because we've all seen this a million times, one of my worries was that you were going to have so many people coming after you, and that you were going to get the wrong people around your circle or whatever.
Right.
Not that you are, but just that, how it is. You get so many people coming at you. So when you when I heard that you were with Colbi and some of the guys that you have surrounding you now, it made me feel a lot better. And I was like, okay, he's got a good group around him, and that's a big part of life, man. Because so many people go to Nashville and stuff like that, and not everybody there is a good dude, and not everybody there has got John's best interest in their mind. So I'm really proud that that God put these guys in your life and Colbi in your life, and good choices on your side too. So I think that was one of my concerns, and I have no concern about that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm very blessed, and yeah, you're 100% right. Nashville, such a wonderful city, wonderful people. My personal manager, Kevin Spellman, absolutely wonderful. The best manager out there, if you ask me, personal manager with Vector Management up in Nashville. So yeah. I'm so blessed to have those around me. But coming right off the show, I'm so glad that I didn't look north for the immediate the immediate connection. I have one right here in Louisiana with Colby, so that was super great, and because I mean, there's just something once again to talk about the state. There's something about Louisiana. There's something about the wonderful people here, and the way that we act and are and eat and sing and all of these things. So to have a tour manager and a team from Louisiana was so important. I'm so glad that it happened that way. I'm so glad that it happened that way. So once again, another theme of this conversation, just very blessed. If there's one word to summarize.
Yeah, and I did. I lied to you because I thought of two quick questions that I want to get before we get out, and then I'll let you guys get on the road. Super
Yeah.
quick, because you brought this up, and I see this in your posts and everything. I do want to give you a chance to share this with our followers. What role has faith
Yeah.
played in your life and play every day in your life?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's the quickest way I can answer that is it's the number one role, right? And that's the important thing for Christians around the world, and your faith's not supposed to be on the back burner. It's not supposed to be one of the many facets or one of the many parts of your life. It's supposed to be the part of your life, right? The central, the number one thing that wakes you up and puts you to sleep and keeps you going. And I sing country music, right? And I sing about some things that you would think, how in the world does he connect that back to his faith? But somewhere down the line, there's a connection to faith. It's somewhere, and what I sing, not perfect at by any means. I'm not perfect, and not everything I sing sometimes is about that, right? Because that's human nature, right? And I don't always make the right decisions. I don't always say the right things because I'm an imperfect human being, just like you, just like everyone who's listening, just like everyone who will listen, everyone who's ever walked this earth, and everyone who will accept our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I will say that not everything I do or say is perfectly aligned with Jesus because I'm a human, right? But I try. I try as hard as I possibly can, and I try in everything I sing, as I already said, everything I write, everything I say, and that is what's really kept me going. I did not have much confidence in myself, but luckily, when I say I didn't, I mean like during Idol and during the really grueling parts of artist development, I didn't have much confidence in myself. Luckily, though, I had confidence in God, so that really was it. That's what I give credit to getting me through and putting me all the way up to the number two spot, especially in Idol, is although I had to build the confidence of myself, I had confidence in God that He would assure me and He would see me through, and I still do to this day. That's the number one thing that keeps me going, even when it seems like, how in the world is He going to pull this off, right? How in the world is this going to work out to the best of my entrance? It will. I've learned that so many times. Garth Brooks, I think it was Garth that did unanswered prayers. He, he's so right about that. There are so many times that I prayed for something and I said, Lord, please, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to do this. And it didn't happen. And I'm thinking, Lord, what do you mean? This is how it's supposed to go. And then a month or two goes by and I get news or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so glad that did not happen. I am so glad that the Lord did not let that happen to me because it has served me for my best interest. That has happened so many times. And so that's the number one thing. It's confidence and it's trust in God. And I hope that, and I know that it will. And for anybody listening and anybody who has a practicing prayer life, I ask that you pray that you pray for that to still happen for me, that confidence. You pray that God still guides me and God still gives me that confidence in Him, right? To always trust and always be assured that His plan will work.
Yeah, I joke often that if God gave me everything that I asked for, I'd be in a bind. I'd be trying to
Exactly.
get out of it. That's right. Well, real quick, last thing, man, for real is up and coming Louisiana artists. There's a lot of younger Johns out there that's coming up, man. What do you have to say to them that about the music business or whatever advice that you want to give them in general?
And I'm glad you asked that. I love talking about this because I was somebody that I had some great people in my corner, right, guiding me and leading me, and I hope to also be that for some people. And the number one thing I can tell you is I just said it. Even if you don't have confidence in yourself at this moment, have confidence in God, right? You may not. Uh, what once again, even though you think something is exactly right for you right now, it may not be. You know, there's been I was rejected from American Idol twice. That's something that a lot of people may not know. I was rejected from American Idol twice before I did it the third time, and that's when I got through. And so it's like, and I'm glad that was rejected the initial two times, because if I would have went through both of those two times, I can almost guarantee you right now I wouldn't have made it as far as I did, because I hadn't paid my dues that much yet. I still needed that development time before going on the show. And so I really want to stress to all developers and everybody that's looking for something like this is God. Trust that He has a plan for you. Work as hard as you possibly can. Call as many people as you can. Look, and I'll tell you this right now. You can go on, if anybody's listening out there or will listen to this that wants to that's pursuing anything in music. My Instagram account at official John Foster. I unfortunately can't see everything that people send through, but please, if there's anything you want to ask me or any kind of advice or any kind of situation, go and message me on at official John Foster, and hopefully I will see it. I try and look through and respond to as many as I can. And please go message me, and hopefully I will be able to provide you with some kind of advice. But without contacting me directly, once again, the best thing I can say is trust God, and then build confidence in yourself that from God, right? Because that's the source of all my confidence, and that should be the source of everybody's confidence. I am made perfectly in His image. I am made for a reason. I am put here for a reason. I am me, right? That's a big thing. You're not like this person and this person. You might not sing like this person or play like this person. That's for a reason, right? I am me. God designed me as perfectly. So please remember that to all my upcoming artists. God designed you perfectly as you are. Use your voice for Him. Use your voice for the betterment of this world, and hopefully it's country music, right? I mean that's my heart, my soul, but that's not the only genre out there, and I love all the other genres. So just keep at it for all my upcoming. Keep at it. Trust God. Build that confidence in yourself from Him, and it will all work out.
Well, man, I appreciate you jumping on for a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Colby said you might be asleep, so
There was a good chance, but luckily I'm still kicking.
Well, man, I certainly appreciate it, man, and I genuinely we're proud of you, man, and we'd love to hook up with you sometime down the road before too long, and whether it be Baton Rouge, Nashville, wherever, and sit down with you for a little while and do one of these, and just work on a project or something,
Yeah.
man. We'll catch you somewhere down the road before too long.
100%. We'll catch you. I appreciate everything you do for Louisiana Country, and we will talk soon. I'll give you back to Colby.
Okay, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Colby, you weren't holding that the whole time, were you?
I'm back. Sorry about that. I was taking a nap for a little bit.
You weren't holding the phone the whole time, were you?
No, I'd hold it up higher. So,
Oh man, what a great I hate to say kid, man, because I'm getting old, and to me John's a kid, but what a great young man.
he's awesome. We get to enjoy a lot of time just me and him doing stuff. We've done a lot, man. We've had some fun together. We've learned some things and succeeded and failed, and yeah. So it's been a good time. But like John said, it takes a village, and we could not do it without our family, our support. I know, like I said, my wife Monique, my daughter Emma, Brooklyn, and Marley, and our grandbabies. We miss them to pieces when we're on the road, but they're always waiting for us when we get back home.
That's right, man. That's what it's all about. Two quick ones before I get you out of here, man.
Yep.
Real quick, I want to give you the same question I gave John, man, because I love that every Tuesday night you just never know where things are going to go, man, and I feel a lot of the same way from the outside, kind of looking at you as a human, not a music person, but as a human. Like what role does faith play in this whole thing for you?
It's a lot. I'm a dad first, just like John is a son first. That's my main thing. It's taking care of my family, but definitely a lot of faith. It's we lean heavy on it. Good times and the bad times. It's a big part of our daily life. It's a big part of our tour on the road. It's important, just like John said. Every time we're out, I know we love to visit churches and things like that. We try to make that a priority when we're on the road.
That's awesome, man. It's inspiring too. Makes people like me, and I'm sure other people out there want to do better, man. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to push each other and set better
Always,
examples for each.
always.
That's right, man. Last question for you, man, and this is kind of one that brought up to John too. Is up and comers out there that ultimately want to end up on big tours or play big stages. You've got experience behind the scenes on both of those. What are some things that you could give, or some advice that you could give to the up and comer artists about being able to accomplish those things? What do they need to be doing to do those things?
It's not easy. We're still grinding ourselves. We're out there every day. We were just blessed this week to find out that we're. Can I say that, John? You go with me about mentioning that?
Breaking
shows we
news
just got added
right
on?
here on FCM Live. Breaking
Yeah.
news.
I posted it and John posted, but we were blessed enough to get on Hank Jr.'s tour. I mean, Hank's an icon, and
Yeah. He wears a hat that says icon.
that's it. And to be able to get on his tour, I know Hank's a military collector like I am, so I've been down the road with Hank before. But for him to allow us to get on his tour, and he sees the value that John brings to a tour on, I think 7 or 8 of these dates all across the country, is just a blessing. It shows work. So we were blessed to get that. So,
Yeah, that's awesome,
but
man.
but as far as younger artists, they're going to have to keep grinding. Social media is huge now. I mean, thank goodness we have somebody that does it for John now, because I feel like I fought with that daily, and I think I still fight with that every once in a while. That's not even my job, but it's you kind of got to do everything sometimes. And we've got it, like John told you, we've got a great team with Kevin Spielman up in Nashville, who was, again, another godsend, just a phone call that just happened. I mean, it's but social media is the biggest thing, getting those likes up. And John's got a strong fan base that has helped him rise his, likes and shares up with all of his streams and things like that. But that's the first thing. And then just being able to open up for somebody like at the Texas Club. It's John's very, very humble. He's open to, it's like he let more.
Uh-oh.
You good? I'm back. Bad area.
Yeah.
But that's huge for a regional artist.
Mm-hmm.
So and John is very appreciative of them wanting to open up for John. So it's John gives back. John definitely gives back to regional artists. My phone is always open. The people that I help out, and even the ones that don't, I still get phone calls, and I'm always about contracts and just anything. I'm always open to helping some of our regional guys. So,
Well, man, that's awesome, man, and that's what I love about this community. It's already a strong community, but hopefully, we as Louisiana Country Music can kind of continue to help be a small part of continuing to build that community even tighter and tighter, and just raise that awareness and raise those relationships and all of that. And I appreciate guys like you so much, and just thank you for what you do, and appreciate you coming on and sharing some time with us tonight, man. We've got 90 people sitting here. We're an hour and 40 minutes deep, and we've got people saying some of the sweetest things in the world in the comments, and it's just unbelievable that people are spending their Tuesday nights with us hanging out, and it's amazing, man.
Ronnie, is there if you've got time? I know you said we were going 45 minutes, and now we've done push packs. That any questions coming in the comments that get asked?
Man, there's there's so many comments right here. Let's see. Let's go back through it a little bit. It says my phone is. It's just people compliment, but if you want to hang for a second, we can certainly.
Hey man, I've got time. We've only got 9 more hours or something like that.
Last minute questions. Let's see. Everybody's tweet to us.
That's a good thing, And remember, John Socials, John F Music. They can find us streaming everywhere: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
Brenda says, when is JF coming to Wisconsin?
Wisconsin. I'll bring that up. I have not seen any Wisconsin dates yet, but we're getting out there. I've seen some New York stuff. I've seen some Virginia stuff. We're expanding our reach for sure.
Is he traveling now in the RV interviewing? Yes, I can answer that one.
Yes, we're on the bus. So
now they're coming through so fast I can't see them. I did see one just a second ago that was pretty funny. Let me see. Let's see, what was Lindsay? You see it? Shoot. Will you be releasing a calendar of yourself one day?
I've been known for taking a lot of photos, and the band Chase Tyler and them as a little gag did a calendar one year of all my photos.
See, Lindsay, I'm gonna release a calendar, I think, but I'm gonna have to get Chase's arms and put on mine. I'm gonna have to do some of that AI stuff.
that dude doesn't need AI, man. He works out every day. He's definitely dedicated.
If I had his arms, my calendar would probably sell a little bit better. It might go from 8. It might go from 8 to 10. I don't know.
Yes, you're right about that.
I don't mean that as a scale. I mean that in total sales.
Well, just know, behind they say behind every lead singer there's a strong wife, and Lindsay is definitely she's been there from the beginning. Just like Brittany's there for Kendall and so forth. You've got to have somebody in your corner, and that's same thing with me. With my wife, you've got to have that support there. And I know I've said it 1,000 times, but a lot of this runs on that family and that support.
No doubt about that, man. No doubt. And speaking of support, we've got Karen on here. She tunes in every Tuesday night, and whenever I say Karen, I'm so grateful for that, and I appreciate it. I really am. She says, "Did y'all name the bus?" So I want to make sure that we get her question in.
Yes. So the bus name is Zoltar. And I know everybody's going to like, what's Zoltar? So Zoltar is from the movie Big. And me and another fella, which happens to be the singer of this group, were in Oklahoma playing a machine at a casino called Zoltar. And we were spending a little money, and we just said, hey, if we win it all, this is Zoltar money. So that's the name of our bus is Zoltar.
I love it. I love when you said that. I was like, wait a minute, I know that name from somewhere, but that's where it is. We got a lot of people saying South Dakota, Michigan, Kentucky, West Texas. We've got
we're coming Kentucky. We're coming to Texas.
Northwest Arkansas.
We're coming to Ohio. We're coming to Arkansas again.
Let's see. Yeah. Grand Rapids.
Let's see.
I'm all over. I
Yeah,
don't think he's gonna be short on dates anytime soon. As long as y'all want to keep the bus wheels rolling.
that we are, and that's a keeping the wheels rolling are a whole another deal. You know, it's these things are not cheap to keep up, but you know, I call our business manager. All right, and she's like, okay, Coach, and she's like, wait, can you tell me that again? And I'm like, yeah, okay, you know. So yeah,
yeah.
but it's all part of the circle. You know, a lot of people just think, you know, an artist charges this amount of money. It's all going to the artist, but there's a lot of fingers involved. You've got
Oh my
your
goodness.
band, your bus, your team. It's you know, it's a lot of people involved. And my hair care products and all that. So,
Well, Tammy says Colby's parents are watching.
oh yes, that's my parents. I was mentioning earlier who performed at church, sung at church, and played the piano and the guitar. So, yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't do it without them. They surely raised me right in a good Christian home.
Says I have a picture from South Florida for Colby's next calendar. I don't know what that means. I'm guessing there's a backstory.
I'm sure it wouldn't surprise me. It would surprise me. I'm sure there's a lot of them floating around out there.
I'm trying to go to Thomas's beard, but I can't quite get there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna make
Thomas has definitely got a good beard on my age.
Oh man. Well, man, I could sit here and do this all night. Melissa's coming to. She's going. Are you still on there? So
It's a good interview.
It is. It is. It is a good interview. I've had a lot of fun, man. I certainly appreciate it. We'll have to do it again, man. Are you guys in? I might try to catch up with you guys when I'm down in Baton Rouge here soon. I'm gonna be down there a couple of times in the next month.
Cool. Yeah, we'll be in Plant City, Florida tomorrow, and then Friday night we jump back on the bus and we head to Roland, Oklahoma. So we'll be there for a night at an awesome casino, and then John heads back to the Grand Ole Opry for 2 nights in a row.
Wow.
He's going to be there with Steve Warner and several other Opry members. So that's, I don't know, 13, 14, 15. I mean, something like that. We're going to do a little chalkboard so we can keep up with all these appearances. So, and then we go to Benson, Arizona. We're out there with our friend Tracy Bird.
Yeah.
And then we're on to Rome and Zurich.
Wow.
So it's we're blessed, man.
Yeah.
We all keep saying it, but we're
no doubt, man. I think I lost you for a second. Can you hear me?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, man, I'm gonna let everybody get out of here and hit the sack, and I appreciate it, man. And I'll be texting and talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Hey, Ronnie, one more thing. I see some people are asking. Yes, we are playing at Jazz Fest with Lainey Wilson. I don't know if I see a lot of people have asked about it. So yes, we will be performing there. And our Texas Club show. We haven't been back home. It'll be almost a year. And get your tickets. Texas Club sold out the first night in a couple days, and we had to add a second night. But sorry, you got one night, and we're heading back out of town. So get your tickets and all that.
I might have to try to ease to the side door. I might have to call you and see if they got one more space for a little skinny body.
Call me. We'll get you in. So don't forget, check out all of our new merch on johnfmusic.com. We're always updating, get some new hats, new camo hats, and all that. Yeah. I like that hat too. Yeah, just got this one, just came out. So throw some love to the band.
Second I do. Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah. Heck
got
yeah.
some new got some new camo hats and all the cool things over there.
We'll have to get you guys some hats, some Louisiana country music hats
I
too.
see. I'm sure we'd wear them too. So thanks, Ronnie.
All right, brother. I'll see you soon, man. I appreciate
Thanks,
you.
buddy. See you, man. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. So sweet of y'all for hanging in and not only hanging in, but just participating and enjoying and saying the sweetest things in the world in the comments. I can't wait to just go back through and read them and make myself feel good before I go to bed. But we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. If so, tune in every Tuesday night and you'll learn a lot about some amazing artists and managers and who knows who we'll have on here all across Louisiana. Make sure to follow, like, share, comment, all those things so we can show the world what Louisiana country music is all about. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all of our Louisiana folks out there. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next Tuesday night right here on Louisiana Country Music Live.